Hello, good morning. Yeah, praise Paul. I'm in an odd mood today. I just woke up and I feel like flat as a pancake. There's no determination between like good day or bad day. It's a flat day. Monday. Do I have a case of the Mondays? Is that what's going on? You guys got storms. Yeah, the sun is pretty today. It's been really nice this week. Yesterday it was 86 degrees. Today it's gonna be 80. And by this time next week it's gonna be 60. Welcome to summer in the Pacific Northwest. Monday has a case of the Pauls. That could be the case. We gotten any smog? I had it bad in Quebec coming from Manitoba fires. No. The air quality here is really good and doesn't tend to get drift from fires and stuff. But I'm right on the sound. So being that close to the water and that close to the ocean kind of blows out the nasty. Please invent a new disease and name it. No. I don't want it. I don't want to invent a new disease. I don't want to be the inventor of a new disease. Contante dominum, contante novum. The sound, referring to Puget Sound? Yeah, that's the sound. That's the sound, baby. Look like you're from Texas and Alaska. Born and raised in California. I'm a Cali boy. Not in California now, but I was born there and raised there. Spent most of my life there. But I'm not there now. He's a Cali boy. I know that the scariest thing in the world for you is getting your cheeks clapped up by some real Cali dick. So I won't hate on you too hard, bro. Trust me, you're hardly the only motherfucker that has secret hidden fantasies about getting some good West Coast dick. Yep. Texas hella jelly. Down in Texas right now, they're closing down pot shops where you can't even buy shit to get high. You know all those like gay ass CBD shops that they have? They're closing that shit in Texas. Get at me. You don't want to start this like, because I'm a Cali apologist, and people like California takes so much shit off the rest of this nation. It's why I'm kind of like crossing my fingers and hoping that California just secedes. Let's just Civil War it real quick and secede from the Union. Because Cali takes so much shit from other states and pays for so many other states to fall beneath their fucking tax limit. You know what I mean? We just subsidize every other state, and then every other state has these fantasies that turn California into this unlivable shithole when it's the greatest state in the union. You know what I mean? It's like somebody sitting in literal fucking Kentucky going like, California full of gays and liberals, and it's just like fucking tumbleweed blowing by. Land of fruits and nuts. True. True. Oh, that's right. Not even tumbleweeds go to Kentucky. No. It's just funny, dude. It's funny how California is already, like, as an entity, it's already its own thing. It's already separate from the United States in people's minds and people's hearts, in geography and everything else. It's just different. And, you know, it takes all the heat from that and then feeds the nation. You know what I mean? Like, everybody shits on it and then goes to the grocery store and buys a bunch of California produce. You know what I mean? It's like, okay. I got a lot of all kinds of farms. California has oranges, it has cotton, it has cattle, it has all kinds of nuts, sometimes almonds, walnuts, you know what I mean? Kale and lettuce and cabbage and just endless fields of all this shit. Grapes, wine grapes, table grapes. You have any beef with the East Coast? No, I don't have any beef with anybody, really, other than Southerners. People from the South are way big for their britches. Especially the ones that have lived down there their whole lives and haven't traveled out of it. People down south believe some wild shit about the world. Yeah. That's why when Trump threatened to cut federal funding to Cali, Newsom said, do it. Yeah. Yeah, they cut federal funding to Cali. Cali stops funding the federal government, and Cali becomes one of the richest nations in the world overnight. California moved up the scale. It is now the fourth largest economy on the planet Earth by itself. If you took Canada or California and excised it geographically from the United States and made it into an island, it would immediately be the fourth richest nation on the planet on its own. Yeah. People got wild ideas outside of the South. They watch too much news. They listen to too much opinion about the way things are, and they never travel. You ever heard the term travel broadens the mind? That's true. One of the reasons is when you travel to a place, you stop having misconceptions about it. When you spend a little bit of a time in a place, you understand what you're dealing with. And most people in the South have no fucking clue what California even is, let alone, you know what I mean, be able to like break it down and make commentaries about it. I've been all over the South, born and raised in California. There's no comparison. Zero comparison. But you can't tell that to people, right? Because people will just go, "Oh, fuck you, man." It's like, well, yeah, they think they go to Alabama, to the coast, to the Gulf, that they've traveled, and that I need to go to California. I've been to the beach. Oh shit, bro. Jiggers, yeah, dude. Yum. Yeah, you know, I understand. You have to understand when you have to take what I say with a grain of Cali salt, okay? Because I'm a California supremacist, so you know, I get it. Like, there's nice places outside of California. I'm not saying that everywhere. I don't even live in California. I'm in a nice place, right? I'm just saying that when I hear people launching fucking bullshit at California, just talking shit, and then I find out that that motherfucker lives in Kansas, I want to rip my hair out, bro. Is California perfect? No. Does it have tons of problems? Yes. Should Kansas ever be in a position to shit talk California? No. How about Florida? No, Florida is the worst. Florida is so used to the fact that people in the South and in the East Coast goes there because they have beaches. They think they think they're a California back there. And it's just like, dude, all you would have to do is take a Floridian and plop them on the coast of California, and they would shit their pants with grief. It's not the same. We are not the same. We're not made the same. We're not built the same. We're not from the same thing. And it's hard to explain that to a Floridian. Like, Florida just doesn't want to hear that, but it's true. Florida is great, bro. What do you mean? That's what I'm saying. Florida is great from the context of somebody who lives in fucking Arkansas or some shit, right? Because it's got like ocean and sand for the beach, right? And then you go like, whoa, full Florida, awesome, man. Dude, if I dropped your ass in California, you would shit yourself with grief. A shitty California beach town blows doors on anything in Florida. Anything. A shit tier roadside California beach town beats anything in Florida. Why? How? Well, let's see. The ocean off the coast of California is not 98.6 degrees. We don't get insane tides of green algae that make the ocean unswimmable and toxic. We don't have oil spills still washing up tar balls on every shore. What else? Do I need to keep going? Or are those three enough? It's not 90% humidity and 100 degrees. California doesn't flood every time it rains or storms. Are we good? California isn't routinely devastated by fucking Cat 5 hurricane. California isn't sinking into the peat bog. Anything else? Personally happy to live in Tennessee. No need for a beach to do redneck stuff. True. Hey, look, I got no problem with you. I'm just saying, before you talk shit, measure your opponent. That's all I'm saying. Dude, I'm chill with people like you. You're from Tennessee. You like to do redneck shit. You're not a beach guy. Tennessee's probably a pretty good fucking place to tool around on a quad and go mudding and do all this crazy shit, right? I like doing that shit too. You can do that shit in California, by the way, not to fucking burst your bubble. But I grew up, my parents were in a four-wheel drive club, fording rivers in my dad's Willie's Jeep and taking that to the dunes and shit. California, like, that's the thing that people don't realize about California. People go like, I'd never go to California because I would miss the beautiful pine forests of Tennessee. And it's like, California has the largest the largest conglomeration of pine forests in the United States. Oh, well, you know, but I like to do a little four-wheeling. It's like, okay, well, yeah, California has the Sierra Nevada mountain range and the coastal range. So that's 2 ranges of mountains that you could go do four-wheeling in. Yeah, well, you know, I like to head to the dunes. It's like, California has every biome. Every biome. 100% of every biome. You like the forest? Check. You like the desert? Check. Beaches? Most beautiful beaches in the world? Check, 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 check. Mountains? Check. Valley? Check. What do you want? Texas is better. It's just not true, bro. Have you ever been to Corpus Christi? Corpus Christi has got to be the world's absolute worst beach that I've ever seen. You know why Cali is better than Texas? Let me show you. I'll show you. What I just did is 100% legal. Texas is never going to catch up. Never, ever, ever going to catch up. Dude, I lived in Texas for a couple of years, by the way. Incidentally, I moved in 2015 to San Antonio, and I had a girlfriend from there, and she was like, "Oh, we got to go to the beach. We got to go to the beach." And I was like, "All right, yeah, you know, it would be nice. I am kind of feeling homesick. Let's go to the beach." She's like, "Oh, my family likes to go to Corpus." I was like, "Okay, cool. We'll go to Corpus." Bruh, that place was hideous. It was so fucking hot. I couldn't believe we were near the water. It was so hot. There were oil derricks just everywhere. You couldn't even like see the ocean because there were so many oil derricks right by the beach. It was, dude, there were cockroaches like this. I don't even want to hear it off of Texans, bro. Texans are crazy. Like, that's insane. That you would actually go vacation at a place like that, bro. That place was Disgusting is the word that comes to mind. Fucking disgusting. Texas is not known for its beaches, which is crazy because it's a giant Gulf state. You know what I mean? You can breathe air. I breathe whatever the fuck I want. Yeah. And people come to this battle unequipped. This is a battle I like having. Because this is a battle that most people are ill-equipped. I mean, your state is fine. Listen, your little state, whatever state it is that you love to be in, it's fine. It just doesn't hold a candle. We got everything your state has, ×2 in California, and everything else. That's it. It's 100% it. Do I smoke? What do you think? Keep that West Coast on the West Coast. We good on the East side? Yeah, you good if getting slammed with hurricanes, ice storms, and the grayest, most polluted, disgusting, frigid ocean that the world has ever seen. Yeah, dude, you guys are good. So long as you've got 3 layers of clothing on, y'all are great. No, you're doing great. So long as you bundle up. Bundle up in the winter and crack that fucking tiny little apartment window in the summer because it's about to be 100 degrees. Are you fucking joking with me about the East Coast, bro? Shh. Hush. You lose. Hope this helps. Yeah, thanks. I don't ever ask for those, but yeah, thanks for the $1.99, friendo. Well, I had a hunch and just looked it up. California has one of the smallest pollution footprints per capita in the country. Guess which states are the highest? I wonder who's polluting. Which states are throwing garbage in the ocean, throwing fucking fluorocarbons into the air? Which states are blowing the fucking world up? I wonder who it is. Who could it be now? I only see a Hispanic once in a blue moon here in Hawaii. That's crazy because Hawaii has a pretty sizable Hispanic population. So the fact that you don't run into anybody of Hispanic heritage in Hawaii is kind of strange, bro. The one's too stupid to admit climate change is real. Indeed. Yes. You seem like a chill guy. I'm pretty fucking chill. Actually, that's not true, man. I'm not chill at all. I can chill, but overall I'm not chill. Let's put it that way. But I manage my chill all day long. I aspire to chill, always. some parts of California are dirty. Oh yeah. Oh, there are some shitholes in California. Most of them are way inland. I grew up in the Central Valley. That's shithole central. Like it is, really shitty town after shitty town after shitty town. Merced, Madera is where I was born. Fresno, Turlock, Bakersfield is the worst place in California. Bakersfield is dirty, hot, ramshackle and falling apart, overcrowded, underserviced, just a nasty fucking place, bro. I'll be honest about Cali, dude. Not every goddamn place is gold. In fact, there's a lot of shitholes in Cali. A lot. How would one look for a protest to participate in my city? I don't know what city you're in. But if you want to know protests that are upcoming, you're going to have to juice in with like local activist organizations and stuff. It's kind of hard to publicize those things if you're not following the organizations that are organizing them and all of that, right? Bakersfield, Hanford, Tulare, Farmersville, Visalia. I mean, keep it going, brother. Keep it going. It's just that whole stretch is pretty fucking bad, bro. Mojave. Dude, I love the high desert, but the Mojave Desert is not my fucking cup of tea, dude. It's beautiful to drive through, especially like when Amelia and I drove from Louisiana to California when we moved out to back to Cali. We hit Arizona in the morning as the sun was coming up, and oh my God, bro, one of the most beautiful places on earth. But that desert, the Mojave, is absolutely brutal, and it is filled with shitty, shitty, shitty towns. I love the high desert though. I love Tehachapi. Like that if I was a rich dude, I would buy a tract of land and put a fucking house on it in Tehachapi, and I'd just have that shit. You fish? No. I like doing it, but I just don't. I could, especially now that I live in a place that's got a lot of water. But yeah, no, I haven't fished in forever. Oh no, the high desert is it's absolutely beautiful there. See, this is what I want to, like, and I know it's just silly to bitch about, but like, this is why I'm looking at buying a tract of land and building a house on it, because I just want to be in a place where nobody's trying to keep a little postage stamp of a lawn. Like, we live in the most beautiful fucking place, bro. And that is a lawn being mowed, you know? Like, why? Live in the Mojave, just north of Lancaster. Yeah. It's brutal there, man. It's brutal there. Salty sweet ranch. Salty for me, sweet for Amelia. Maths? No, dude, math and I don't mix, bro. So stupid, dude. People are so stupid. It was, but I didn't bite. How many tacos can you eat in an hour? What kind of tacos? That depends, man. Because sometimes tacos are huge, burly affairs, and sometimes they're tiny little things. So, which tacos? See, if you're going to ask dumb questions like this, you need to have specifics. So, you're talking street tacos? All right. Before I answer this, I want to make sure we're talking about the same thing. We're talking about a small corn tortilla, right? With some carne asada, some pico de gallo, right? And a little bit of cabbage, squeeze a lemon, right? That's what we're talking about. Yes. Okay. So, right. Well, I'm just saying that's that size of taco, right? Little corn tortilla, street taco. Yes? No matter what's on it, because that's how I would take it. I would take it with cabbage, carne asada, cabbage, pico, right? A little bit of salsa. Okay, how many of those could I do in an hour? I'm trying to give you an honest answer, not like a bragging answer. Because I can pack away food, man. I'm not like a competitive eater, but I'm a big fat guy, so I could probably. I gotta say that if I was doing it, I went in hungry, right? In a 7 or 8, Nikki, that's rookie shit. I'm thinking I would try and do 20. I think that if I went in hungry enough, between 15 and 20 an hour is what I would be shooting for. Yeah. I mean, if I didn't make it to 10, I would feel like I didn't do my fucking thing. We're not talking about big tacos here. We're talking about little corn tortilla, right? There are a couple little bites for a guy like me, right? I could probably eat one in a minute, right? And I've got 60 minutes to eat 10. That's fucking rookie shit, bro. I think I could pack 10 to 15. Not being braggadocious. I think I'd hit 10 and then we'd see where I go from there. If I was trying to eat as many as possible, I would never eat that many fucking tacos for a meal, right? If there was a competition involved or a bet, I would go for, right, 10 to 15. That's the non-braggadocious answer. Bro, huskiness, like, that is something that, like, you have to learn at some point. That, like, being a fat guy does not, dude, the people that I've known that pack away the most food casually are all fucking skinny. All of them. $50 bet, how many tacos you downing? What? I just said it. In an hour, I could do 10 to 15 street tacos pretty fucking simply in an hour. You want a dude talking about tacos? Because you're in the right place, bro. I love tacos. I love burritos too. And I also have a disdain for people who prattle on about politics constantly. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you we don't talk about it here or there, but I don't care, bro. You know what I mean? I see a slow spiraling decline, and that's what I see. Do you make it through the Canes order Friday? I think it was. How many? I got 10 down. I got 10 tenders down. And it was hard, man. I told Amelia, and I genuinely feel this way. I was like, that was my fucking farewell to chicken, because before that, I hadn't had chicken in probably a year. Probably been over a year. And I was reminded why I hate chicken and why I probably will never eat chicken again. So that was it for me, bro. I'm done with the chicken. I like to troll conservative radio shows sometimes, but it's not that deep. Yeah, man. I totally get it. I get what you mean. I think a lot of people, maybe you included, I know I'll speak for myself on this one. I'm burnt, dude. I care about politics. I have political opinions. You know what I mean? And I have beliefs and all of that, but I am just absolutely fucking burnt out by the 24-hour news cycle and everybody just like all anybody wants to talk about on social media. And it's just, I get fucking absolutely, completely, and utterly burnt. What's your gripe with chicken? Bro, I've been through this before, but not to get, I mean, we can talk about it if you want, but it's like, my gripe with chicken is entirely my own thing. I don't, I'm not trying to convince anybody else about it. But I think that, like, I just have textural issues with chicken. And I'm a picky eater when it comes to texture. Like, I can't eat sinew, big wads of, like, fat and connective tissue and stuff. And chicken has a tendency to have that kind of shit. And it just drives me a little fucking nuts. You need a porch so you can chill when it's raining. Oh, hell yeah. Ghoul, you don't even have to get a porch. You know what you can do is you can get one of those roll-out covers. They're like, to get them installed, they're probably like $700 or $800, which is like cheaper, way cheaper than getting a porch built. And you have a little thing and you roll it out, right? And it'll keep the rain off of just that part of your house. It extends the eave. And then you get some little chairs and stuff, right? And then you have a place to sit and chill when it's a lot cheaper to do that, you know what I mean, than to build a deck onto your shit. Yeah, one of them big beach umbrellas. Hell yeah. Dude, I have one that I'm probably never going to use again. And if you lived near me, I'd just give it to you. Just be like, congrats. I was using it in California. It's huge. It would be perfect. C'est la vie. Yeah, ligament or connective tissue, a little piece of cartilage, like those types of things for normal people, they're just, from what I assume are normal people, right? It doesn't seem to do anything with them, right? They're like, oh, okay, they'll spit it out or just eat it, swallow it. Like for me, it ruins the whole fucking thing of when I bite into a big old rubbery thing that ain't supposed to be there. It's fucked, bro. Chicken, I don't know, man. I just have such a hard time with meat in general. So, I don't eat it much. Right? I'm just saying. If you was a neighbor, I'd be like, oh shit, I got you. Bloop. You know what I mean? It'd be perfect. But I got it on Amazon for like $150, and it's a big triple umbrella. You got to get like a thing to stick it in too, because I don't think it comes with that. But shloop, you roll it out, and it's like 3 umbrellas that cover a huge area of your patio. They are called tendies. My bad. Do you entertain theoretical questions? Sure. I prefer like ones that are not retarded. But yeah, no. I'll do a theoretical. High-speed rail. Yeah, that would be dope. I would love to be able to jump a train and go to the East Coast and just have it take a day, you know? You entertain them, and then the question is, how much poop would you poop if you could poop? Yeah, I know. That's typically how it goes, yeah. Oh, yeah, no, you ain't kidding, bro. Vegas used to be dope. I'm here to announce to you guys that there was a time, dude, if I could take you to like the 90s, Vegas, I could show you a treat, bro. But now Vegas is like, it's like Disneyland, man. You can't walk anywhere in Vegas, no matter where you're at, without tripping over somebody's fucking kids, bro. And the thing that made Vegas cool used to be that there was like a division between where kids were allowed to be and where adults were allowed to be. Bro, I was sitting, the last time I was in Vegas was a couple years ago. I stayed at the Luxor. Big mistake. The Luxor is a nightmare scape now. They just haven't done anything to it in 90 years. It's just a shithole fucking place now, right? So I'm in the Luxor. My wife and I go down to the casino and we play a couple machines or something. We go sit at a bar, right? It's a casino, and right in the middle of the casino floor, there's a bar, you know, with sports on, it's playing music. We sit right up at the bar. I order a drink. You know, we're having a good time, just enjoying the ambiance, smoking cigarettes indoors, you know what I mean? All of a sudden I hear a sound that I shouldn't hear in a fucking casino, especially not on the floor. I hear a screeching child. And I go, that's weird. Maybe somebody's just carrying their, because, you know, sometimes you got to pass through. No, it's a woman who sits down at the bar. She has a toddler, a little screaming baby, and a teenager with her. And they sit down at one of the tables at the outskirt of the bar. And she just starts like changing her baby's diaper at the bar. Baby's screeching, her toddler's running around. And I'm like, certainly someone from the casino is on their way to escort this woman off the floor with her children. This isn't a diaper changing place. This is a fucking casino. No. No. She sat there with 3 children for like 45 minutes. We left before she left. So it's just turned into like, as soon as I would get like right off the casino, if I was going from one part of the casino floor to another, passing through a hallway that connected to like a commercial district or something, right? There would be a cloud of screaming, unattended teenagers. And I'm like, look, dude, I'm not one of these dudes that's like, oh, shut up, kids. But it's like, when you go to Vegas, that's why it's cool in Vegas. Vegas is cool because it isn't literally like middle school let out. You know what I mean? But now it is. Now they're trying to get you to bring your whole fucking family. They've turned it into Disneyland in the desert. It sucks now. Everything is high. Like here's another thing that used to be chill about Vegas. Oh, I'll tell you some more about it. I'll remind me, Otello, about the food. But about the food, one of the things about Vegas was because they were just trying to get people to come and gamble, adults, right? They wanted adults to come and gamble. They used to entice you with other things, like food that was so fucking good and cheap. We're talking like ultra cheap, like 20 bucks for a big steak dinner type cheap. We're talking like 10 bucks for a big fucking buffet, right? With steak and lobster and crab and all the crazy shit, right? Everywhere. Every hotel had a 24-hour buffet, dude. If it was like 3 in the morning, you've been playing blackjack all night, you're fucking tired and busted out, dude, you walk to the buffet, get you a big old fucking pile of fresh mashed potatoes and some fresh carved roast beef at 3 a.m. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. There's been inflation since then. I get it. But it's not just that. All right. And inflation doesn't account for what happened to Vegas. Vegas went from an adult gambling destination to a resort town. Resort towns put a huge markup on everything, right? Vegas used to intentionally mark down, like its food in Vegas was a loss leader because it got people's butts in the door. People get all fat, have a few cheap drinks, and all of a sudden they're exiting through the casino floor. And what do? They open up their wallet, plop in 20 in a machine, sit down there and lose it, right? That's what they're doing. Not anymore. Vegas is now like, they want you to come, gamble all your money away, and then pay fucking above top dollar for everything. No, I'm talking about the 90s. I'm talking about 99, the early 2000s, right? That's when I went to Vegas as an adult. The late 90s, early 2000s is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like 20 years ago, 25 years ago, right? It's a quarter century later, and Vegas is Disneyland in the desert. It's literally like overrun with strollers and screaming children and lollipops and balloons and Ferris wheels. It's fucking hideous. It sucks. Beyond sucks. It just ass, bro. There used to be one spot on Vegas where people that couldn't get a babysitter and had to bring their kids everywhere had to stay. You know what it was called? Circus Circus. I'm not even fucking kidding you. Circus Circus was the one place on the strip that allowed people that couldn't get a fucking babysitter to come and gamble and have their strollers and their shit-smelling diapers everywhere. And now the whole strip is Circus Circus. It's garbage. It just fucking, people are all rowdy for no reason. It's just stupid there now, man. People used to have decorum in fucking Vegas, bro. Vegas used to be like an adult thing. Now it's just a bunch of fucking kids running around, screaming, yelling, taking selfies, doing content in the street. It's a hellscape, bro. Do grooming advice from people, dude. I love it. The skibbity fictation. Skibbityfication. It's not even that. It's just become a place where they're like, bring the kids, won't you? Come on, bring the kiddies down. Have a good time in Las Vegas. Fucking sucks. Can we talk about that for a second? Let's talk about that. Let me continue this rant and expand it out. Tell me if this is a good take or a bad take, chat. Are you ready? This involves you. Good or bad take that's about to come out of my mouth, okay? The world desperately needs more adult-only spaces. Good take, bad take. Good, good. Good take, good take. It seems like we're pretty fucking unanimous. That's a good take, good take, good take. I mean, be honest. If it's a shit take, let me know. Oh, Nate Healy says bad take. He wants more kids. He wants more diapers and screaming babies everywhere. And this is not like, look, dude, I didn't say the world needs nothing but adult-only spaces, right? I'm not against parents. Brenton, you know, you're as a parent, you agree. I'm not against parents, right? I'm not against having places to take your kids. I just think there's plenty of that now. I think the world desperately, like think about this. Would you go if somebody opened up a restaurant, right? And it's not even a bar. Maybe you get a drink in there, but it's a full-blown restaurant. But they got a policy, 18 plus. I would go there. I would go there. Let me ask you another question. Because I live in an area that's got a ton of little independent movie theaters, right? If there was a movie theater that was no one under the age of 21 is admitted to this movie theater, no exceptions, I would go to that theater. I would be a permanent fucking resident of that theater. They would have my money for the rest of the time I lived here. Right? What else? If there was an airline that charged a little bit more for the ticket, but it didn't allow anybody under the age of 21 on the flight, I'd pay that extra fucking $100 for that ticket. That airline would have my business. Am I wrong? I feel like there's a gap in the market and nobody's exploiting it because they don't want parents to get mad. It's like, fuck you. You're already slinging your little booger eater everywhere that you go. There's nowhere you can go without a screaming baby in it now. Enjoy. What if somebody builds 5 or 10 places you're not allowed to bring your screeching baby into? That'd be neat. You know, it's one of those things, man. And I think it expands to the internet. I think there needs to be a way to identify people on these fucking social media apps to make sure that I'm not sitting here spinning my wheels and talking to a 13-year-old that's pretending to be a doctor, right? We need a place where adults can have a conversation like this without having to worry about 12-year-olds busting in and checking the box that says I'm over 18 when they create their fucking account. Like, that ain't working, clearly, right? Because I don't mind that people have children. It's not that. I'm not an anti-natalist per se. But I do think that the world desperately needs more designated spaces where people are not allowed to bring their children under any circumstance. No exceptions, no arguments, right? Yeah. Well, people will do that. Like Walmart, right? Everybody goes to Walmart. If you're an American, you go to the Walmart, right? When you go there, how many times do you have to fucking come to a screeching halt because some kids are running and fucking chasing each other through the aisles because their parents, they show up with 15 kids and cut them loose in the store and tell them, meet me back here in 25 minutes, right? And then everybody else babysits their children for them, right? I'm just thinking about it, bro. Like if I ever started a restaurant, I would do this because you're completely within your rights. There's no statute that says you can't exclude children from your business. You reserve the right to, you know, children is not a fucking protected status socially, other than, you know, being children. Yeah, no children, no excuses, no arguments. Do not bring them. Right there on the door. Make it known in the community like, hey, this is a place you come to be around adults, talk about adult things, right? And not have to smell a fucking toddler's shitty diaper, right? Not have to hear somebody screeching mistake, right? As they desperately try to do adult things with a toddler screeching on them and attached to them. No. I'm sorry, you got plenty of places you can go pretend to be a person that's got freedom while you have a toddler lashed to your hip. There's plenty of movie theaters that already allow it. Plenty of, dude, all the way up to Vegas. Like I said, give us a venue. Can we normalize folks who live in apartments not letting their kids scream in public smoking areas in front of the apartments? I mean, I don't know, dude. Apartments are kind of tough. That's community living, bro. I do think that parents should tell their kids stay out of the smoking area, just so their kids aren't sucking smoke. That makes sense to me. But it's kind of hard. You're living cheek by jowl in a fucking apartment arrangement. But yeah, I know that they have adult-only communities. I know that this exists. They have apartment communities that don't allow children. I know this exists. Normalize it. Normalize restaurants, theaters, other places giving a child-free experience. Normalize the internet, figuring out how to make sure the kids aren't mingling with adults. Because there's no point to that other than a lot of bad intentions, right? As you see. Or I don't know, just teach them not to scream every day. Bro, if it was that easy, if it was as easy as just telling a parent like, hey, calm your fucking kid down. It's driving us nuts. Right? And the parent goes like, oh shit, okay. But you can't expect that. You can't expect common courtesy out of a parent because they have this idea that it takes a village and you're part of their village. When you go to the Applebee's, you're part of their village. That's why they're going to sit there with their screaming children. because it takes a village. I gotta show it off. I gotta take this out and expose other people to it. Okay, well, that's fine. Give me a place where I can choose to be free of that and watch me spend my money there. I know it happened back in the 80s. I was born in 1980, and there used to be places where kids were just not allowed. So we need to go back to that. We need to have another movement of that where it's like no kids, no exceptions. You got plenty of places to go if you got kids. That's why they made places like Chuck E. Cheese. You guys remember that place? You guys been to that place, right? I had a couple birthdays at the Chuck E. Cheese. Why do you think a place like Chuck E. Cheese existed? Because if you had a minivan filled with curtain climbers, that was your restaurant choice. Hope you like pizza. Whatever happened to the look? Bro, my mom still does that shit to me. My mother will still do this. And that's the best I can do. I never was a parent, so I never developed the actual look. But she will just immediately, like I will feel her eyes, and I'll look at her, and she'll be like, I'm like, oh shit. 100% it works, bro. Dude, my mom, we're starting to get into territory where I get like bad takes because, like my mom had this thing when we were kids. It was called the spanking spoon, right? And I don't know that I cannot remember if she ever used it, but we would be acting up. And she had this little corner that went into the kitchen, and we would hear something tap, and we'd look, and we'd just see her hand around the corner with the spanking spoon. And we'd go like, we quit cutting up. I don't know, man. I don't know. It just seems like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a parent, so you don't got to take my opinion on this with any seriousness. Dude, Ghoul, just hearing you on Discord when you chilled that one time, I could tell you have the look. I could tell. I could just hear, if it's possible, I could hear the look. Your cousin's got a spanking spoon. See? There you go. I don't know, bro. It's just like, and I'm not trying to be a boomer about it, but like my mom, so I don't remember this, but my mom has told stories when I was little, like a toddler, walking and talking, but still little, right? If I threw a tantrum in a public place, right? If I started screaming at the grocery store or something, right? She would literally walk away from her cart, leave it right there, pick me up and take me to the car and sit me down and make me, like calm me down, because she wouldn't have me acting that way in public. She didn't want to reinforce the idea that I can throw a big hissy fit in the middle of a public place where people are trying to do their shopping and whatever, right? So I was, well, I mean, I didn't want to go that far, but the truth of the matter is that, yeah, if I acted up in public and I didn't stop when I was told, and I didn't fucking learn how to be a normal, have respect for other people, my ass would get beat, right? There was an ass whooping for me. And I don't know that that's right. I'm not saying that it was a good thing because I don't know that it was, but it's like that there was an enforcement of social norms on children that kept them from screaming, screeching, yelling, acting like they're the only people in the fucking room, and that seems to have gone away in public places, not just private places, public. I'm 24 and I have some level of social respect. It worked for me. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, you ain't kidding. Grown ass people, and I talk about this quite a bit here, and it's, people probably get sick of hearing me saying it, but it's like, I think this extends, right? There is this phenomenon of grown people in their 20s, right? And all these motherfuckers are interested in or talk about is cartoons, like legit cartoons. And it's like, was my generation just weird for like moving on to more adult shit in our teens and stopping, like, you know what I mean? And I feel like I don't want to be the old man on his porch shaking his cane at everybody. You know what I mean? If you want to watch cartoons, go. But it's real frustrating as a grown man to have a conversation with another grown person, right? Younger than me, that has no frame of reference, that isn't like SpongeBob or some anime shit. And it's like, look, if you want to watch that shit, cool. I'm not judging. I watch some stupid shit too, but bro, it's your personality still. That's your media frame of reference is a cartoon. Kind of blows my mind, man. Do you believe that lack of emotional intelligence plays a factor in this? Personally, I had to teach myself to be introspective, and it changed my life in very positive ways. Yes, 100%. Yeah. When you are denied, see, and here's the thing too. When I was a kid, and maybe this is just another back in my day, right? I really feel that way right now, but it's the topic, so fuck it. Back in my day, when I was a kid, I was obsessed with adult shit. I couldn't, like, I still watched cartoons and stuff, but my parents had a VCR and they had some tapes. I couldn't, like, and as soon as they taught me how to do that and saw that I could sit down and watch a movie and it didn't affect me, they just kind of let me, right? And that's a parenting decision that a lot of people would disagree with. But I'll tell you, like, I couldn't wait to digest adult media. And it wasn't just the salacious stuff. It wasn't just tits and ass. It was action and drama and comedy. I couldn't wait to be into adult art and adult media and adult books. No, I mean, that's the thing. I'm not trying to judge you. I have a Squishmallow guy, right? That somebody got me for a present, and it's adorable. My wife got me a Squishmallow, right? It's not about you can't like a cute childish thing. It's not like, okay, So my SpongeBob, right, would have been like Ninja Turtles or something. It's not like I never bring up the turtles, right? It's not like I don't remember their names. Raphael had the size, Donatello had the stick, you know, Michelangelo had the nunchucks, and the best one, Leonardo, had the swords, right? I'm not saying you can't stay, you know, keep some child interests and like think that stuff is cool and cute and this and that, right? It's different. What I'm talking about is people that don't have a frame of reference outside of that shit. Like they're not only do they have a bunch of that shit decorating their house and their room, but it's like all they talk about, it's all they care about, it's all they can reference. Every joke they make is centered around it. It's getting kind of wild. You know, it seems like failure to launch emotionally. It's just like if that interest brings you to come into a space like this chat and you ask, what's your favorite Pokemon? Exactly. It's like, dude, bro. And if we're talking about Pokemon or whatever, cool. I'm not saying you never, like I said, me and my co-host TJ a couple of weeks ago went on a huge rant about the Ninja Turtles, right? It just came up in conversation. Both of us grew up watching that shit, and we ranted and raved about it. But then we moved on with our lives, you know what I mean? We didn't go out and go to TurtleCon and fucking, you know, I don't know. It's just like, I'm not talking about the interest, I'm talking about the level. Why don't you not worry about what I'm smoking, Luke? Why don't you pretend to be an adult? How about that? Why don't you not worry about it, bro? Why don't you let me handle the worries about that, okay? I'll go get myself some coffee, because fuck you. What's the use of trying? All you get is pain. Yeah, the coffee question. I have it different ways. Like yesterday, I didn't want to fuck around and I just had black coffee, nothing in it. Today, I threw in a little creamer. Depends on the day. Oh yeah, I got this Northern Exposure T-shirt in, what is the name of it? There it is, Roslyn, Washington. I rented an Airbnb there to trip acid with my friend, and I got real fucking just kind of like depressed before we did the acid, and my friend and girlfriend and his girlfriend, they all went to this gift shop and got me this shirt and a little Bigfoot plushie to try and cheer me up, and it did, and then we dropped acid. It's a fun memory. That's why I hold on to the crappy shirt. Life is cool sometimes, you know. Yeah, that was my favorite. I got to give props to that crew of people. My ex, TJ, and Chelsea. So Ashley, TJ, and Chelsea were my favorite crew of people ever that I dropped and really fucking dropped acid with, right? They're just the vibe that came out of each of them was different, and it was all complimentary, and it was just a fucking just like, I can't imagine anybody had a single negative experience associated with that trip. It was so beautiful. People have told me not to try it, so I've never tried it. Bro, you should never be influenced one way or the other when it comes to stuff like that, because I'll tell you, there are just as insidious of people that'll tell you not to do something as people that try and get you to do it. You know what I mean? I will tell you, and this is just my honest opinion, not trying to convince you one way or the other. I've tripped mushrooms, I've tripped acid since my teens, dozens and dozens of times, and I've never once had a bad trip. Well, SLC Punk, yeah, I mean, you know, you can like everything, you can take it to the extreme, you can do too much, you can be a little fucking, you can overdo things, right? But I don't know. Maybe I have done a little too much, but the truth of the matter is I've never had a bad trip in my life. But yeah, don't let me sway you any more than the people that warn you off of it sway you. It's a decision that you make. ass on her face. Thoughts on what's happening in LA based? I think tyranny should be opposed. And the founding fathers agreed. LA really does throw the best riots. They know how to do it over there, man. There's like, I've seen 5 or 6 pictures. I was like, those are history book pictures. LA just knows how to do it. I've seen at least 5 or 6 history book pictures. I was like, 20 years from now, there's going to be history book pictures right there, bro. Assuming that there's even going to be history books in 20 years, right? LA knows how to do it, dude. California gets it popping like nowhere else, bro. This is what I'm talking about, man. Well, I mean, we'll see how this one shapes up. The other 2 notable LA riots, and there have been several others, but the ones that I always reference are the Rodney King verdict riots in the 90s, right? And the 1964 Watts riots, the police riots. And both of those times had the National Guard called in, by the way. So there's nothing unprecedented about that. I'm not trying to make excuses for Trump doing it, but it's something that I always remind people about. Like, people have this idea that the American military will side with America always. They won't shoot at us. They won't kill us. They won't oppress us. And I always have to remind them, Watts riots, 1965, Rodney King, Compton riots, Inglewood riots. You know what I mean? Come on, bud. But some of the footage I've seen from this riot has been absolutely fucking bananas. Bananas. Bananas, bro. People are fucking going ape shit. I saw people pelting cop cars with bricks from an overpass. I saw a line of burning Waymos. I mean, people are going nuts. Yeah, no, I agree. I hope Gavin Newsom nuts up and just creates a constitutional crisis and sees if Trump has actually got the balls. We all know Taco. We all know Trump always chickens out. So let's get it. Gavin Newsom scoring points, baby. Scoring points. We need this in other states. Other states don't give a fuck. That's why I say people will scorn the fuck out of California, but when it's time to oppose the shit, who carries the water? Everybody else sitting back, eating their fucking TV dinner, watching California fight the revolution. Awesome. Peaceful protests don't work. I will tell you a story. I did a lot of protesting in my 20s. Right around my mid-20s, I started feeling like my wheels were spinning. I wanted to do some direct action. Obama was was the president, and I had supported Obama in a big way, hoping that he would make good on a couple of his major promises. These are things that people don't remember now, but the closing of the prison in Guantanamo Bay was one of his big campaign promises. He did not do that. Healthcare, universal healthcare, was one of his big campaign promises. He did not do that. And there were a number of other things that he just kind of started governing like a Republican. And I became super disillusioned after many, many years of just kind of blindly supporting the DNC. And so I wanted to protest. He was using drones, right? And this is a big red line for me. I'm a huge anti-war guy. And Obama was just hyper accelerating the drone war. And so I found a local group that was doing pickets and protests in opposition to Obama's drone strikes. And I started doing pickets with them. And we picketed in Fresno a couple of times. And then they wanted to do a picket back in my hometown, right? And I was like, cool, that's fine, in Madera. So we met at the Walmart parking lot, right? And I'm standing there, you know, holding a sign. I can't even remember what sign I had. It was, you know, say no to Obama's drone war or whatever. No drones, no blood for oil, one of those types of, you know what I mean, signs. But I'll never forget this because it was, you know, people were very derisive, right? People would yell shit, right? Fuck you, hippie, fucking bitch, right? And I didn't look the way I do now back then. I was clean cut, you know. But just the act of standing with a sign in this little fucking rural town was just unthinkable to these people. And I remember one dude drove by. I mean, he said my name. And I looked at the guy, and to this day, I have no fucking clue who this guy is. I didn't know him by sight. But he said, Paul Parkey, your daddy is ashamed of you. I was like, who the fuck are you, cat? Why don't you drive on? Go buy something at the Walmart. And to me, that sort of instant derision to something that in my mind should have been universal. Like, stop killing people all over the fucking planet with drones and shit. Stop it. Right? God, it drew so much derision and negativity from the community I was in. And then I just extrapolated that out, right? I was like, how many of these little podunk backwater shithole communities are in this country? How many people are this exact way, where direct action is the thing they fear the most? They see somebody standing with a picket sign, that is the thing they fear the most. How many places like that are there? The answer, tens of thousands, right? Were you involved in the anti-war movement? Yeah. No, I was an early opposer, right? I had early opposition to our invasion of Afghanistan post 9/11. Early opposition to our invasion of Iraq that followed. Both of those wars were widely supported in the area that I lived in. Yeah, you know, I was, you know, as vociferous as I could be. Vociferous. One of them autodidact words. It's a Paul's egoism, vociferous, I think, at this point. Yeah, the support our troops, yellow ribbon movement was huge. And so providing some pushback against that, like, hey, you know what would really support our troops and humanity in general? Maybe stop bombing everybody. Maybe stop the indiscriminate bombing. Maybe that would be something we could do. Everyone with their yellow ribbons. Yep. Yep. But anyway, we're getting a little down the fucking politics rabbit hole, and I'd rather not. Oh, it is really pretty here. Here, I'll show you. Yeah, I'm a lucky guy. It's kind of hard to remain, you know, in a negative space when you wake up to that. You know what I mean? What's the temp? Bro, it's brisk. I watched Mr. Crockett. Already happened, bro. It'll be part of my next Hey Paul, what you watching next week. That's cool, man. Yeah, I never lived in the woods. I grew up in the valley in Cali. I grew up in Cali in the valley. So yeah, I was never, I never got to live in a mountainous area. And the place I live now is kind of mountainous and by the ocean, which is just double beautiful for me. How you doing? I'm doing okay. Yeah, I'm glad you guys seem to be liking the new little series. It's just part of what you'll get eventually when I fire up Cinema for Cynics. I'm thinking of giving you guys early access to my big Cinema for Cynics videos. In addition to that, I think that'll be pretty good from the Cinema for Cynics angle, because we'll get early access to all the videos, and you'll get, hey Paul, what you watching every week, or every couple of weeks, depending on how long it takes me to watch 4 movies. Right now, I've only got 1 in the bank for this week, so I need to watch a few movies. And it's Mr. Crockett is number 1. Yeah, the morning is awesome, right? Yeah, I don't think I could deal with frozen year round. Anyway, I'll see you guys